Greetings, welcome around the world to Winter Wellness Secrets webinar 9. Let's get to the slides. I don't think I have any sound to share, so here we go. All right, it is webinar 9, and today's topic is energy. We're talking about energy today, optimizing your energy. And if there's an imbalance, I'm getting ahead of myself already. But if there's an imbalance in your energy, if there's an imbalance in your body in general, there are going to be problems. So we're sharing 4 secrets. Actually, we're going to have even more secrets than that. But 4 secrets to optimizing your cellular energy and what that means for you. So secret number 1, we're going to talk about anti-inflammatory eating. Secret number 2, meal composition and timing. Secret number 3, the major impact of motion. I need an of in there. And we've got bonus secrets, and we've got a bonus above bonuses because we have a special guest joining us today, Coach Sereda, Fowlkes. And we have a bonus gift for you at the end. All right, let's get into this. So we're talking winter wellness. And why is winter such a challenge? We've got shorter days. Although they're getting longer, can you tell? It's just a little bit lighter. We're getting about 2 minutes extra of sunlight a day. I'm so excited, but it's still, we're not out of the cold yet. New Year's resolutions. I talked to a friend who works in a gym yesterday. And what's today's date? Today is February 8th, right? And I was like, you must be busy with all of these New Year resolutions. And then I said, or maybe since it's February, maybe they've dropped off a little bit. She said, absolutely, they've dropped off. So it's a challenge because we set ourselves up with so much hope and then we're not able to stay the course. So we got secrets for that. And I always want to mention dehydration because, and in fact, right now, right this minute, I'm a little dehydrated. I could tell from my voice. So in the winter, we don't have the same cues to hydrate. You know, we're not sweating so much and it's not so hot out. So we really need to focus on our hydration in the winter more so than any other time. I am Dr. Lisa Singletary. I'm known as the 100-pound weight loss specialist, as someone who's personally lost over 150 pounds. And I've developed the 5 M's of total transformation to empower your transformation from the inside out. And the M's are mindset, nutrients, micronutrients, measurement, and motion. And we cycle through all of these M's every month. Today, we're focusing on macronutrients and micronutrients together, which form the complete nutrition picture. But what does that really mean inside our bodies? I am a retired physician. I have a master's degree in public health, and so I really love statistics and digging into the research. But I'm also a holistic health educator. So I'm just passionate about using every bit of knowledge I have to empower your transformation. In 2006, I was quite a bit heavier than I am now, but I had the gift of motion, and I'm so thankful for that. In 2008, I went home to take care of my parents. I left my practice, and it was a very stressful time, but it was 8 years of service. I would not have done anything else, traded any other, done any other way, except I didn't know about nutrition and hydration back then. I would have made that change. And at the end of the 8 years, I was in my father's wheelchair just to get around the house. And I needed a miracle. Now, we don't talk about miracles in health and wellness. So this is my disclaimer slide. I am not making any medical claims, any health claims. We're not talking about diseases and curing or preventing or reversing. But this slide, I'm telling you, I personally needed a miracle. And something happened that dramatically changed the trajectory of my life. You can see the yo-yo. This was my weight over 60 years of my life. And you can see the yo-yo dieting. You can see that dip when I took a weight loss drug right there in the middle. And then as soon as I stopped the weight loss drug, shoot, went right back up. Uh, A was my maximum. That's when I went home to take care of my parents. A lot of stress. But at letter B, I had a change, a dramatic change. And I'm still on the journey. But what was that change? It was learning how to nourish my cells and how to hydrate my cells. And like I said, I'm still on the journey, but I'm so glad to be sharing these secrets with you today. So we're talking today about energy. And when energy's balanced versus imbalance, it affects obesity. It affects metabolic syndrome, mitochondrial dysfunction, and energy imbalance. And we're going to talk about getting this whole relationship back into balance. Now, what is the impact of obesity? You know, just walking on the streets that we haven't conquered this. But look at this from 1990 to 20 projection in 2030. And let me tell you, the 2024 map looks very much like that 2030 map. Obesity is beyond an epidemic uh, in this country. But what about metabolic syndrome? Well, I found a different graph for it, but absolutely, we're on the same awful trajectory for metabolic syndrome. And what does that mean for our risk? Well, if you look as this chart goes to the right, we're going from normal body weight to obesity. And you can see the pictures along the top, but also along the body, along the bottom, we're increasing in age. So our cardiovascular risk goes up with age, but it also goes up with our body weight. And when we get to obesity and increasing age, these risks just start to pile up. Let's just read a couple of these. Sleep apnea, atherosclerosis, diabetes, hypertension, fatty liver disease. So many things that, and I just want to point out this one, chronic inflammation. And that chronic inflammation is an underlying factor in many, if not all, of these other uh, risk factors and diseases. So I want to talk about the mitochondria today because we're talking about energy balance. And I like this. I used to teach biology, and I always liked this analogy that the cell is just like a city. And everything that a city has to accomplish, your cell has to accomplish. It has to take in nutrients. It has to process energy. It has to package up products and export them out. It has to repair itself. It has to expel waste. Well, the energy generator in the cell is called a mitochondria. And what a mitochondria is responsible for doing is taking in energy as food, but converting that food into energy that the cell can use. Because your cell really can't use salmon and avocado as you take it in. It has to be broken down in the gut, absorbed, and then in the mitochondria, it's converted into ATP, which is the cellular currency of energy. And if there's an imbalance, there's going to be a problem or many. And when we have our mitochondria, which are those energy factories or those energy burning power plants, when they're sluggish, they're not working efficiently for us. And when they're revved up and ready to go, that energy furnace, it can burn fat and turn that fat into energy rather than storing it in the body. So I hope I'm getting across the importance of mitochondria in your body's energy, uh, energy utilization. So how do we get those mitochondria burning fat instead of storing fat? Well, secret number one is what not to eat. It's more important what you don't eat than what you do eat. And doesn't that sound a little crazy? Because we're talking about this diet and that diet and this diet and that diet. But no, it's what you avoid is the most important thing. Why? There's certain foods that cause inflammation in the body. Gluten-containing foods, wheat, barley, rye, oats, even quote-unquote gluten-free oats. I got a whole nother talk about that. Fried foods, oils, all of processed foods, all of these things cause inflammation in the body and in the gut. And when you cause inflammation, then you damage the mitochondria and they can't function to actually take all of this excess energy you're taking in or excess food that you're taking in and turn it into energy the body uses. And so what happens? The excess energy gets stored in our fat cells. Secret number two. All right, now we've talked about what you should not eat. And I must say it again, it's more important what you avoid than what you actually eat. But here we go. Secret number two, what you eat and when to eat. So here's what to eat. You can keep it simple. Protein and produce. That is if you don't have a list with you, and this is a good list to have when you're walking around the store and shopping, but just keep in mind, protein and produce. Now, some people, you see a couple of dairy things in there, maybe. I love yogurt, for instance. Some people can't handle the dairy. If you can't handle the dairy, then don't eat the dairy, right? Again, it's more important what you avoid. But protein and produce. Now, this is when to eat, because when we go on a fast, and that fast can be days long, but the most practical fasting is what we call intermittent fasting. So every day, restricting your eating to certain hours. And I would say the vast majority of intermittent fasting programs have an 8-hour feeding window and then a 16-hour fasting or gut resting window. And I want to tell you this. I do say here that fasting is a metabolic superpower, but that's just because that's all that fit there. But this is what the metabolic superpower is. It's a combination of low carb eating. So it's a combination of eating these good foods, which are low in carbohydrates, low in inflammation, plus intermittent fasting. That is a metabolic superpower. It's a game changer for your body. All right. Secret number three, actually, did I write? Hold on. Yeah, okay, I'll talk about secret number three now. Secret number three is the power of motion. And when we had Coach Judy on, Coach Judy Handworker, didn't she just stun and thrill us with her presentation? And we will have her back. But active mitochondria are happy mitochondria. And the power of motion, I can't stress enough. It directly supports the health of your mitochondria and helps them to convert that energy, that food into energy. All right. Now I'm excited, everyone, for my bonus secret. And this particular bonus secret isn't going to be a slide, or not my slide. It's going to be a person. So I want to welcome to the stage my friend, my mentor, international speaker, best-selling author, health coach, Sereda Fowlkes. So, Coach Sereda, the spotlight is yours. Welcome to the webinar. I can't wait for your bonus secrets today for our mitochondrial health, keeping our energy in balance. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lisa. You are a gem. You are so knowledgeable, and I admire you for all that you do and all that you know, because you know how to put it all together, the pharmaceutical, the medical side with the nutrition side, which is not too many people can do that. So I'm so thankful that I know you and that you've invited me here to speak. So thank you very much. And I'm honored. So today, you want me to speak on rest and recovery and hormonal health. And let's see if I can share my screen. I will do that. Here we go. So, well, this is about hormone first. I will talk to you about hormonal changes, and pretty much your body's going to change as we get older. This is for men and for women. So your hormones matter because they're chemical messengers and they control your energy, your mood, your sleep, and your metabolism. So if your hormones are not in balance, you don't have a balanced life. Balanced life is balanced hormones. And women go through the life stages of puberty, pregnancy, menopause, and then there's andropause. What is andropause? I'll tell you in a few minutes. So let's move a little down here. Women over 40 will experience menopause. We'll go through the estrogen up, estrogen down, lack of progesterone and testosterone, because there's going to be changes in the body. But we have to be aware of this so that we can make sure that we're getting what we need to avoid the symptoms of hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, brain fog. I was on a summit yesterday, and the lady, she said, "What do you do about mood swings?" Oh my gosh, I'm just not balanced. So we're gonna have a talk. And then same thing with memory issues. I mean, just because you don't remember something doesn't mean you have Alzheimer's. Everybody forgets here and there. You go into the kitchen, it's like, what did I come in here for? You know, that happens. But if you got too much going on, have a little note. I do sticky notes. You know, when you got something to do, make yourself a list of what you need to do so that you don't think you're going crazy. Depression, sleep disturbance, and fatigue. Some of these things come about because of hormone changes, right? And there's 7 bosses of hormones. Estrogen, you probably heard about it, but you can have not enough estrogen, too much estrogen. Testosterone is women need it because it helps with our sex hormones. Progesterone, if you've got not enough estrogen, then you need progesterone. Insulin for your blood sugar, cortisol, which is your stress hormones, absolutely needed first thing in the morning because you don't want too much stress in your body. You don't want too much cortisol stored in your body. And then thyroid. Your thyroid determines your temperature. It's like the thermostat or the thermometer. Your thyroid is very important. So if you have some issues and if you've never been checked out for your thyroid, it's a good thing to do that. And your DHA. These are your omega fatty acids. Important. People don't think they need them. All they think is fish oil, but there's more to that. But all these hormones work together like a well-oiled machine. Okay. Now, men should pay attention as well, because hormones is not just about women going through menopause. Men have issues with prostate health. Why? Because they're not getting the proper nutrients they need, and they are not aware, excuse me, about an enlarged prostate until they find out they have a problem. Frequent urination, weak flow, discomfort, and then low libido for them. Because if you've been around a man who goes to the bathroom more than you, and women, we go to the bathroom a lot. If you've ever been around a man and he's peeing more than you are, then that's a sign that he needs to get his prostate checked, okay? Because testosterone plays a crucial role in males as far as mood swings for their health and vitality as well. So if you've got a partner, spouse, then you guys want to support each other, because it makes a whole lot of difference in both your moods, and you want to make sure that you know about it. Here are a few of the hormone havocs. Poor diet. Dr. Lisa was going through the inflammatory foods. Excess sugar, we know too much sugar, it's just like it's calling us, oh, eat me. No, stay away. It's like, stop it. Gluten, which is, very tasty, and that's so much in all our foods, but you have to be aware that you can do gluten free. You don't have to give up bread, and even bagels now, they have gluten free bagels. So a lot of things are changing because of celiac and people realizing that they really get sick if they're eating gluten. So that's a poor diet. And then your stress, as I mentioned, elevated cortisol levels. Stress can wreak havoc on you and you don't even know what's going on, but check your cortisol levels. Lack of sleep, this definitely disrupts your hormone production. And I'm going to go over a little bit about why sleep is so, so important. And then there's environmental toxins, plastics, chemicals. Right now, I'm in the process, you see my kitchen, I'm in the process of cleaning my cabinets of all the Tupperware I had, because back in the day, Tupperware was not approved because it had too much toxins in it. So you need to get new. You have to replace your plastics if you have old plastic. And then same thing with the chemicals that are in our environment. And there's many endocrine disruptors. And then of course, lack of essential nutrients. Everybody needs vitamin D. If you live in Florida or in the islands somewhere, you still need vitamin D, because very, very few people can absorb enough to keep the body functioning properly. So I want everybody to be the boss of their hormones. Eat the anti-inflammatory diet that Dr. Lisa mentioned, healthy fats, and key nutrients. Nutrition is key. Manage your stress, move your body, exercise. You want to sleep well, and you want to supplement where needed to bring balance. Okay. So I'm going to stop my slides right there, and then I'm just going to talk a little bit about rest, how important rest is. Okay. Your body needs to rest. Your body needs to sleep. At least 7 to 10 hours of sleep, if you can do 10. Some people, I know personally for myself, after 7 hours, I'm good. After that, I get restless, even in bed. So I have to get out. But some people need the rest. Your body will tell you how much you need. Okay. If you're not sleeping through the night, then that's an issue. If you're waking up and having to go to the bathroom at least a couple of times a night, something's off. Okay. Sleep is a natural process, and it is the time when the body repairs itself. So you want to sleep because your brain is working while you're sleeping. Your brain is bringing in all the good stuff that you need, but also it's draining. The brain is draining while you're sleeping, getting rid of toxins. It's like how the kidney is removing toxins during your system. The brain has a process as well. So important to get sleep. So don't slight yourself. Make yourself go to bed. Okay. There was a study done, and they found that some of the proteins that are linked with Alzheimer's remove twice as fast when the brain is sleeping. Isn't that interesting? Okay. So you want to know that if you don't get enough sleep, your heart.
Uh-oh, I think we're frozen. Are you frozen? Let's see.
I can hear you.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you froze. So, I
I
mean,
did.
You froze on my end. Maybe you didn't freeze for everyone else. That might have been on my end. So
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I
absolutely.
couldn't tell. Okay. Yeah, important to get that deep REM sleep. Okay. That means not snoring. That means that you're just in a deep sleep where you are just, your body's just totally relaxed. Your heart is normalizing. Everything's happening because you're resting. The body needs rest. God made us to rest. He worked for 7 days. On the seventh day, he rested. So if God rested, we need to rest too. Okay. Some tips for improving and getting great sleep. Get a sleep schedule. If you're gonna go to bed, I talked to somebody, but they get up early. They go to bed at 8 o'clock. That's like, but they have to get up like at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, which makes sense. Okay. But to stick to a sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up around the same time is very good, and create a relaxing atmosphere. Everybody knows that screen time after a certain point you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be on your computer past 8 o'clock. You need to have at least an hour or so before you go to bed so that your brain can stop, because your brain is racing and it's just going, going, going while you're sleeping. I mean, while you're watching whatever, Netflix or um, on a computer doing whatever. Stop it. Take some time, rest, slow down, give your brain a time, and then do something peaceful. Listen to some nice music or read a book that, just calms your mind. Because if you go to bed after watching a scary movie, you'll have nightmares. Or if you watch something that's very hyped up, you'll be jittery. You won't be able to sleep. You'll toss and turn. So make your atmosphere peaceful before you go to bed. And then exercising, of course. I mean, you can exercise during the day, you can exercise in the evening. It won't keep you up from sleep, but it'll help your body kind of relax. And, meditation is always good. And avoid large meals after a certain time. If you do intermittent fasting, like Dr. Lisa mentioned, excuse me, you shouldn't be eating after 8 o'clock. That gives your body, your stomach, your gut to a chance to digest your food, excuse me, so that you're not sleeping on it, because that stores fat. So say no to that donut after 8 o'clock. Excuse me. Say no to that donut after 8 o'clock, and make sure you get plenty of sunshine, and just, relax, think of something wonderful, and that will help you to sleep through the night. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Dr. Lisa. Thank you for the opportunity.
thank you, Coach Sereda. That was amazing. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, so I'm looking for there it is, add spotlight. Woo woo. We got it. All right, so uh, I'm glad you put sugar on your list, right? I was thinking about sugar as I was making my slides, and sugar, some people put sugar in different places, and to me, sugar means different things. But having experienced um, just the benefit of the low carb lifestyle, whether that's keto or just low carb, and there's a spectrum of carbohydrate intake. I just love that tip to focus on sugar and look for hidden sugars. And I talked about that a little bit in in the carbohydrate webinar. Tupperware. I love that you mentioned plastics and the hormones. So important. Detoxification. And before I get back to my slides, I noticed that you were reading out of a particular book. And I wonder if you could show everyone the book that you were getting your notes from, because, they might have said, oh, she was just reading somebody else's notes. But no, Coach Sereda has written a book, Why Be Sick? And she's a best-selling author of this book. And I'm so proud of you, Sereda. Thank you
Thank you.
for sharing your wisdom with us and with me.
Most welcome.
All right, so let's get back to the slides. Wasn't that a great bonus secret? I know. I loved it. All right. And I have one more bonus secret, and that is give your mitochondria what they need. So there's a difference between feeding your mitochondria, your body, and nourishing your mitochondria in your body. And so when we look at macronutrients and micronutrients, we want the complete picture of nutrition. So we're using protein and produce for the macronutrients. For the micronutrients, I actually, to put it all together, I created this framework, the 5 steps to nutritional completeness. So step number 1, avoid the bad foods. And that's where you can choose your diet, whether you are vegan, vegetarian, keto, carnivore, South Beach diet, what are all the DASH diet, Mayo Clinic diet, all the diets, Atkins diet, Zone diet. I've probably been on all of those at one point in time or another, but they didn't work. Why? Because I didn't avoid the bad foods. So that is the most important thing. Step number 2, get the 90 essential nutrients. Now, the word essential means 2 things. It means your body needs it, which that's what we usually think of essential, but medically, biologically, essential, the word essential means the body cannot make it. So there are 90 nutrients that you have to take in every day from somewhere. And the medical wisdom used to be get it all from your food. If you take a balanced diet, you're going to get all the nutrition. But guess what? If it's not in the soil, it's not going to get into the food. So you have to onboard these 90 essential nutrients. Now, that's just step 2. Step 3, we are under so much stress in this world, and there's so many things that cause inflammation. You want to have something to help your body deal with oxidative stress, mental stress, all the stress, electromagnetic stress, but also chronic inflammation. Step 4, we mentioned gut health a little bit. The gut lining and the gut microbiome is crucial because you are not what you eat, you are what you absorb. And when there's inflammation in your gut, it's not going to function properly, which means it won't absorb the good stuff from whatever it is that you eat, and it won't keep the bad stuff out. And that is a trigger for autoimmune diseases, chronic illnesses. It's so many things that just don't have to be if you keep your gut healthy. And step 5, I call that wellness wonderland. And you'll hear people say, oh, I take vitamin this, and I take that herb, or I take this mineral, or I take, and that's great. I take brain support, I take joint support, I take this, all of that's great. But if it's not built on the foundation of the previous 4 steps, then you're not getting the full benefit of all those wonderful different supplements in Wellness Wonderland. And sometimes it can hurt, it can go against you. So, and I'm fighting the urge to tell more stories about this, but just I'll just tell you, it helped me so much to understand the order of these steps and the importance. So needing 90 essential nutrients, does that mean you need to go to the health food store or go to the grocery store or the vitamin aisle and pick 90 different bottles off the shelf? No. Fortunately, in nature, we can find a lot of these nutrients together. We can find in the right areas of the soil, we can find all 60 essential minerals in one spot. So that's 60 right there. And our companies work very hard to put together a solution for getting the 90 essential nutrients, the right dose, the right time, the um, the right supplements that we need for our bodies to function with energy in the morning, and that's our RISE formula, and to function in resting and restoring at night. So just to let you know that, okay, a lot of people, if you just cut the gluten out, just that one step, you'll do amazing things for your body. But if we can go up that ladder, you're going to do more and more to help your body to be balanced and to hopefully avoid a lot of the issues that can come up when there's imbalance. So the 5 M's of total transformation. Today we covered macronutrients and micronutrients, and not just macronutrients and micronutrients per se, but the effect on a cellular level with the mitochondria. And it's so important to me to get to the root cause of different issues that go on with the body, because then the solutions are simple. So I thank you for joining us today on webinar number 9. We only have 2 more webinars in the Winter Wellness Secrets series because spring is coming. So next week, we're going to talk about motion. And the last Saturday of February, we're going to talk about high-tech ways to measure. We talked about low-tech ways to measure in January. So don't let winter take you down. With the right habits, the right nutrients, the right stuff for your mitochondria, the right mindset, we're going to have a vibrant, healthy season, no matter how chilly it gets outside. And I promised you a bonus. So for those of you who made it to the end of this call, if you just take a scan of this QR code, you're going to get my winter bonus. And it includes the holiday feast guide, which helps you when going to office parties and family gatherings, and it's good all year round. The recommendations, right? There are replays of webinars 1 through 6. There's of course the invitation to take part in the entire series because we're going to be doing this all year long. There's a free health survey for you, and there's more information for our complete nutrition solution. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm going to stop the recording now. But for those of you who are still on the call, I have a request for you. So stand by, and then we'll do a little Q&A with Coach Sereda and myself. So everyone, thank you for joining us live, and thank you for joining us on the replay. Those of you who joined us on the replay, we love you. And thank you, Coach Sereda, so much. I have to get it on tape. We love you. Thank you. Mwah.